Hey everyone, it's JC with the Handy Millennial. On today's episode, I just wanted to do a quick overview of an electric hot water heater. The one that's here behind me, unfortunately, is showing signs of leaking, as you can see here on the bottom. There is some rust color water leaking out, as well as some signs along with the maintenance panels that it is unfortunately failing. So hopefully, if this happens to you, you can catch it in this stage where the hot water heater starts to leak. That's a warning sign that it's time for it to be replaced. If you can catch it before it ruptures, you'll save yourself from a lot of headache of flooding the surrounding areas. So one thing to keep in mind is this is an actual tank that holds water at all times. So the capacity means that's how much water is inside of it. This is a 55-gallon hot water heater, which means if the bottom gives out, 55 gallons of water typically will flood everywhere. So the wall behind me here is the kitchen. So likely the kitchen would not have been spared had this one ruptured. So it is really important to make sure that you check your hot water heater. Just give it a quick glance. If you notice any rust water leaking out, it's time to call a plumber immediately. So if you do encounter that, there are some things that you can do in the meantime while you wait. One of them is to turn off the electrical connection at the circuit breaker. If you do have a dedicated circuit for your hot water heater, just make sure you shut that off. It will stop the water heater from functioning and from powering as you empty out the water inside. So taking a look at this one, there are two hoses in the top. One of them is the cold water inlet. There should be some kind of valve, which you can see there, to shut off the water supply that's going into the hot water heater. So again, if this valve is malfunctioning, then you'll have to turn off the water main at your house, which means you also lose water to the rest of the house until this can be repaired. Unfortunately, that's the case with this one. You can hear it dripping still. It's allowing water in even though that valve is shut off. So the other water line is the hot water output. This sends water back out to your house as it's heated. So there should not be any kind of shut-off valve around there. Again, that's just supplying hot water into your house. So third connection type is the electrical connection. That needs to be handled by the plumber or an electrician, depending on who is reconnecting your new one. So valve slightly lower is the TP or TMP. It's the temperature and pressure relief valve. Once you have a hose connected to the hose valve at the bottom and open that, you can open this. That will allow air to go in and help push the water out. So keep in mind as you're draining this with a hose, you can connect the hose and reroute it wherever you need to. But the water inside of this is still hot. So sometimes people will shut it off, give it some time if you do have time to let it cool off before you start emptying it. So anyway, good luck. I hope this doesn't happen to you. If you have other tips and tricks, please feel free to post those in the comments.